Hello everyone, welcome to yet another day in the clown decade, the decade where things are only going to get worse before they get better. And if you want to keep up to date with all things clown decade, please do subscribe to the channel and of course become a channel member. And today we are going to be laughing because it is Friday and because the communists are just incapable of organising a rather heavy drinking session in a brewery. Because just yesterday Sultana threw out this tweet: "We said this was your party and we meant it. We have just launched our membership. Join us and be part of history." Which you would think was a cause for celebration and would end up with a whole load of memberships going through. And you'd be right. Just an hour and a half later, she threw out a tweet saying, "We've hit 20,000 members. Right-wing bad faith actors are desperate to claim the link is fake. It isn't. It's safe and secure. Join us here," with a little picture saying 20,000. And if there is anything that makes me think something is fake or a scam, it is when I am assured over and over and over that it is definitely not fake and a scam. But to be fair, the link does seem to go somewhere quite official for your party, with a little introductory splash screen advertising that you should become a member to be eligible for tickets to the founding conference in November, with 2 links to join the party, one for regular member and one for half price for concessionary members, which will be for people under 25 and elderly people and probably disabled people. Knowing these communists, they probably offer the cheap price for non-white people too, and possibly women as well. I don't know, they're radically progressive, could be anything. Anyway, the prices according to this website were £55 for the year or £5 monthly, so obviously it's a bit cheaper if you do it all in one go, with obviously, these are usually pre-made, but these pre-made forms for your card details and email address, which is all you need. You don't even need to necessarily confirm that once again you live in Great Britain or are a British citizen, which always makes me a bit wary when it comes to membership numbers, I'll put it that way, but either way, all looks fairly official. Well, Comrade Corbyn threw out an urgent message saying this morning an unauthorised email was sent to all of yourparty.uk supporters with details of a supposed membership portal hosted in a new domain name. Legal advice has been taken, and that email should be ignored by all supporters. If any direct debits had been set up, they should immediately be cancelled. So it's not a scam necessarily, however, it is completely and utterly fraudulent. Because from the looks of it, nothing has been set up officially by the party as a whole. This was Zara trying to effectively get ahead of the game. As we will find out, it seems to mainly be because she was effectively not getting her own way. The agreed process was announced on the 1st of August. The Independent Alliance group of MPs, Corbyn, Sultana and the rest of the Gaza independents, are stewarding and accountable for the foundation process of the new party, leading to an inaugural democratic conference in autumn. Earlier this week we shared new details about the roadmap to the launch, including our plans for mass regional assemblies and our founding conference. Soon you will be able to turn your support into membership at yourparty.uk and shape the future of our party and of the country. Signed, Jeremy Corbyn and the rest of the Gaza independents. Because yes, it needs to be noted that the address for these membership forms was yourparty-membership.uk. And this is Jeremy Corbyn very much saying that anything that is officially of your party will be within the yourparty.uk domain. So it does appear that Zara, intentionally or not, has committed quite major fraud that has literally affected over 20,000 people. That is a major crime. But, well, anyway, Zara had her own response to this. "I want to clarify the situation regarding the membership system for your party. Neither of this week's emails had the dual authorisation of both myself and Jeremy, making it quite literally fraudulent, which was the agreement made at the start of the process." Yeah, you, That is so wrong and actually potentially so illegal, I would not be shocked if we end up with a by-election as a result of this. After being sidelined by the MPs named in today's statement and effectively frozen out of official accounts, I took the step of launching a membership portal so that supporters could continue to engage and organise. I can't believe that for Gaza independents, who are socially conservative Muslims, froze out a woman. I can't believe that happened. This was in line with the roadmap set out by members on Monday and is a safe, secure, legitimate portal for the party. No, it isn't, because it didn't have dual authorisation. That is a lie, that is fraudulent, you're probably going to court. Everyone who supports us should sign up now. My sole motivation has been to safeguard the grassroots involvement that is essential to building this party. Unfortunately, I've been subjugated to what can only be described as a sexist boys' club. I've been treated appallingly and excluded completely. Again, I wouldn't be particularly shocked at this. Jeremy Corbyn isn't exactly a steadfast man. Jeremy Corbyn is a bit of a jelly, really. He seems to get thrown around quite easily. His leadership really did seem to be effectively a lot of people moving around not really sure what to do, while everyone underneath was trying to get rid of him. They've refused to allow any other women with voting rights on the working group, blocking the gender balance committee that both Jeremy and I signed up to. Honestly, radical progressivism plus socially conservative Islamification. As it turns out, everyone who predicted would win that battle won that battle. What a crazy timeline. It's also important to be transparent about this situation and how it arose. I do not believe members will accept Carrie Murphy and her associates having sole financial control of members' money and sole constitutional control over the conference. This undermines the democratic principles we agreed to uphold. It's going to be very much like the Social Democrats of America, that meeting with all the point of personal privilege or whatever it was, don't call everyone ladies and gentlemen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's pretty much what all of these end up as. From the outset, we agreed that MOU Operations Limited, stewarded by Jamie Driscoll, Beth Winter and Andrew Feinstein, would hold and manage funds on behalf of members until the founding conference, at which point they would be transferred to a new entity established democratically. Oh god, every penny raised so far has gone to the MOU operations, and this continues to be the case within our new membership portal. This, to be clear, is members' money, and our members must decide how it is spent. Yes, but without the authorization, it's still fraud. It doesn't matter if everything else is okay. If it has not been given the official go-ahead by the people who are supposed to authorize it, and it's only been done by one, you have gone rogue. You've gone completely rogue, and it's no wonder you've been disavowed. You can't trust someone like that in an organisation, especially near the top. And I wouldn't be shocked if behind the scenes she was trying to do this stuff too, which is the actual reason she got booted out, rather than because everyone's a sexist. Jeremy Corbyn, I do not think is a sexist. The Gaza independence? I don't know well enough, but, as I say, socially conservative Islam, not necessarily the most welcoming to women and their opinions. This arrangement was designed to ensure transparency, accountability, and protection against the concentration of financial control in the hands of any one person. I regret that today's statement has misrepresented the situation. My accents have been consistent with our shared commitment to build an open, democratic and member-led organisation. I'll continue to fight for a process where members' money, data and voices are safeguarded, not centralised under the control of one individual. Well, you're about to find out very quickly why that actually has to be the case. You can't democratically allocate money. You just end up in a mess. Everyone just wants the most money they can get in that case. I'm calling on Jeremy to meet with me and agree to make public all agreed structures, processes and decision-making protocols. Well, I'm sure that'll happen at the conference anyway. Doing this will restore hope for our members and ensure nothing like this can ever happen again. This was entirely your fault. What are you talking about? Look what you made me do, the statement. The party is more important than any person, and we all owe it to this movement to deliver a truly democratic and socialist party. I'm so glad that you are not going to be an MP in probably 4 months' time. The Democratic Founding Conference of this party will take place in late November. I will keep fighting for a minimum programme for maximum democracy. You have my word. No stitch-up, no coronations, the members must decide. Well, that was very much the most student politics response I think you could have seen. It's probably worth pointing out at this point, when it comes to, well, all the things she's accusing Corbyn and the rest of them of doing. Carrie Murphy, who apparently would have sole financial control in your party, was Corbyn's chief of staff when he was leader of the Labour Party. So why wouldn't you trust that? Everyone seemed very happy with her being chief of staff in the Labour Party when Corbyn was in charge. And instead, the MOU Operations Limited is a company that was set up actually in April that Corbyn has absolutely no control over. What this quite clearly was Zara Sultana trying to get control of effectively the membership and all the money, presumably for leverage. Unfortunately, there's this thing called the law involved, and obviously if you do operations like this within a company when the contract says basically you can't do that, yeah, you're going to go to jail. Or at the very least court. And the three people she mentioned, Jamie Driscoll, Andrew Feinstein and Beth Winter, were all candidates within the Labour Party, apart from Feinstein, who was actually an independent who stood against Starmer in the last election. And so once again, these are just disgruntled ex-Labour members, I suppose, and candidates even, who were, well, quite clearly went along with Sultana. And apparently, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Labour Party were happy for them to leave as well, because quite clearly they're happy to try and stitch things up. Again, total mess. Anyway, Corbyn actually seceded as a person of significant control over the Your Party UK Limited on Monday, so I imagine, well, this was something that already had the ball rolling, and this is probably why Sultana felt like she needed to, well, commit fraud. I would imagine that Sultana was going to be kicked out and Corbyn was going to effectively go and make his own thing for Your Party, which the other Gaza independents still seem interested in doing, so I imagine Your Party is still going to go ahead, just without Sultana, who seems to be a complete maverick, and, well, you don't need that when you're setting up a party. Anyway, Your Party made another statement yesterday. Following this morning's unauthorised email to Your Party UK supporters, the data controllers reported the matter to the Information Commissioner's Office. We will cooperate with the ICO in full. A false membership system has been unilaterally launched, data collected and payments taken. Well, that's going to break GDPR. Your Party UK has responsibilities to our supporters and duties under the law. These developments are a blow for everyone who has put their hope in a real alternative. Following Sultana's unilateral announcement of the launch of the new party on 3 July, an agreement was reached for the Independent Alliance MPs to kickstart the founding process and deliver an open democratic conference to found a new party. What's basically happened is Zara Sultana's got very impatient throughout this whole process. Everyone's told her to basically slow down, and she said, nah. And now she's got herself in very, very hot water. Zara signed up to this process and was welcomed into the Independent Alliance. She has not been excluded from any discussions. She definitely has. And everyone involved has been committed to a process rooted in inclusivity and mutual respect. The process was communicated to supporters on 1 August. A working group was established, and a diverse, gender-balanced group of volunteers across the country has been hard at work organising a conference, a huge undertaking on a very short timescale. That's definitely true. As to allegations made against a named individual, Carrie Murphy is a trusted and dedicated volunteer. She has never had access to or control of any funds, which are held exclusively for the party, and even if they were, there's actually no problem with that. Neither have the other 5 Independent Alliance MPs had access to or control over any funds at any stage. There is an enormous appetite to build a real alternative based on equality and peace. This is what unites us, and there is only one way we can build a party that belongs to everyone, together. We have a historic opportunity to transform this country, and we cannot let it go to waste. Well, it's been nothing but embarrassing news since the announcement of the launch. To be fair, most of those problems have come from Sultana, so she's probably going to get kicked out. Anyway, what's been the reaction from the supporters? Well, looking over to the Your Party subreddit, which first I just want to quickly go through the first 2 rules. No reactionaries, so no posting racism, classism, misogyny, queer phobia. Oh, anti-Semitism's banned. Well, that's nice. Anti-Romani sentiment, ableism, religious intolerance. God, they've got everything. This is all considered Toryism and will earn an immediate and permanent ban. Incredible. You also can't minimise hate speech or excuse hate violence towards marginalised groups. And you have to trigger warning these things as well if you're being critical of them. Incredible. And also no liberalism. Long and short of that is, basically, if you post support of anything that looks like it helped get rid of Corbyn from the Labour Party, you will be banned. Yeah, these people are crazy. Let's get into their opinions. So these people are just completely blackpilled, and I don't really blame them because, yeah, leftism can't really get anywhere anymore, especially with the rise of reform. So why not us? It's called Your Party, and after this mess today, why aren't we and the future members deciding who leads the party? Because you're all obviously going to choose Corbyn anyway. It's truly sad that this has gone so badly so quickly, and I'm so angry that they've allowed ego and bickering to ruin the party when there's so much at risk. It's seriously pathetic behaviour, and it's really made me think less of everyone involved. It's quite funny because thinking back to the whole Rupert Lowe saga and fallout with reform, but in the long run it's turned out to actually be sort of a blessing. I don't know if we'd be nearly scraping around 250,000 members necessarily with Lowe, because while he's an absolutely excellent local and constituency MP, well, when it comes to working in a team and things like that, he doesn't seem to do too well. From what I understand with the way things run with his projects, he's basically not involved and is just the PR face of the whole thing. The whole thing's run by his team and not really him, who much prefers dealing with constituencies because he likes them and they seem to like him. Genuinely might be a place where Reform don't actually win at the next election. That's entirely possible. I'm honestly lost at the moment. I like Zach, but I'm not sure if the Greens can get the momentum that seem to be building for this party, and I hope they do because the alternative is grim. Oh, that's another point. Zach Polanski and even Keir Starmer, to be honest, this is the best day ever for them because it looks like your party is just not serious and not going to get anywhere if this... They can't even launch the party before you have fallouts like this. They can't even get a political success before a major fallout between the two co-leaders. And Zach Polanski's even been open saying, yeah, we'll allow Corbyn and Sultana in, so Sultana could actually join the Greens. If she does that and ruins the Greens, that'll be even funnier because that just shows she's complete political kryptonite, which I would imagine she already is anyway. She's the type of person that uses the parliamentary privilege to show support for Palestine action. I mean... There's a fine line between stupidity and bravery, and she very much is on the stupid side of that fence. And the other largely upvoted Reddit post in your party just says, I voted for Corbyn twice, but he's really F this. The trigger was pulled, they should have jumped on board. Instead they chose to kill the party before it started. 20,000 people in a few hours, and now is the time. I am gutted. Yeah, well, unfortunately, you cannot have political mavericks all the time, especially ones that are so completely stupid. Oh, you need to have bold action and do everything you can as fast as you can. No, not necessarily. Especially not when we're mostly 4 years off an election. There's a bit of time to take it slowly. You know, look over at Ben Habib with Advance. Let's be real, there's no way he's actually got 30,000 members, but even getting over 20,000, which I reckon is around where he's at, possibly more since the Unite the Kingdom rally, it's not actually that bad. And it will be set up to some level of semi-professional standard. It's just a waste of time because they're not actually going to win any seats. They might win a council election. But when it comes to this, you get 20,000 people on board a, well, frankly, fraudulent membership link. If you actually do it for real, you're going to get way more than that. So I'd probably actually see it as a bit of a white pill, but everyone's blaming Corbyn, even though Corbyn's done everything right here. But these people are not very clever when it comes to politics. They just have a completely idealised version of what they want and think they can just wish it into reality. That's really not too far from how these people think. The comments aren't really finding any white pills, though. They both need to sort this out immediately if they want any hope in hell of this to work. No biggie though, not like we're steamrolling towards fascism or anything. Oh yeah, they think the right wing, Reform, Farage, Zia, Coalition, whatever, they think that's fascism. These people are crazy. Agreed, Corbyn either gets on board with Zara or it falls apart, do or die moment. Yeah, I find it really interesting how many of us see it as Corbyn needing to get on board with Zara and not the other way round. I love the man, but he was leader of the Labour Party for 2 elections. Give it up, he should never have been the one fronting this thing like his crew are so desperate for. They had their shot and they made a lot of crucial errors, passed the baton on already. God, to Zara Sultana of all people. Another comment thread, me too, no comment, just effing gutted. Yeah, I have so much hope when 20,000 signed up in 2 hours, hour and a half actually. I thought we'd eclipse the Labour Party in a week or two. That was never going to happen. And now we're starting at a probable death of a new party before it's even chosen a name. Yeah, they didn't even choose a name yet. Your party was just a placeholder. And finally, this is actually an interesting take I hadn't thought of. You're right, they could have done damage control from the inside, but honestly, it seems like it was a bomb waiting to go off. Yeah, because Sultana's impossible to work with. That's what a lot of people in Labour said, and that's what now the people in your party said. Having said that, it could also be Corbyn who's hard to work with, but given that the 4 independent Gaza MPs are working with him, I would imagine it's Sultana that's the problem. But these people will never get over that, so... there you go. Enjoy being blackpilled. All you can do is argue in 2015 terms anyway, but unfortunately the vibes have been drop-kicked to the right since then, and now we're winning. We're actually going to have a right-wing government for a few years. It's going to feel incredible. But I think with that, we have had our fun for the Friday. If you enjoy what I do, please do subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and of course become a channel member or leave super chats, super thanks in any stream or video that I do. As for shilling, next week I am away, so there will be no content. I don't think I'll have time to make something in advance, I'm afraid. Though you might get lucky, I might be able to throw something out quickly, you never know. There is a Laughing at the Guardian stream tomorrow, so do catch that at 8 PM. Normal service will resume in October. Right, with that, that's everything I had for you for today, so once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.